Welcome back. As we all know, one of the huge issues right now in North Dakota is human trafficking. Senator Heitkamp and also Senator Klobuchar have been obviously carrying this bill, and we're back here with our Washington Bureau Chief, Jacqueline Policastro. Now this bill, unfortunately, is being held up. What's the latest on this human trafficking bill?
It's a tough position to be in. Republicans want to pass this right away, and Democrats are saying that there's a provision inside that talks about abortion that makes them not want to sign off on the bill. The tough thing here is that Republicans are really angry about this because Democrats have had this bill in their hands for months and they didn't say anything about this provision. Right now, Senate Republicans are basically saying, we have to get this done. We're going to do anything to make sure you pass it. And human trafficking is a serious issue, like you say, in our state and across the nation.
And you've done a lot of homework on this. I mean, you just rattled off some stats off the air that were pretty stunning to all of us here. And I think what's so disturbing is that, from what I hear, it came out of committee unanimous. So talk about what needs done to get this passed, number one, and number two, how pervasive of a problem is this across our country?
It's a huge problem. We know right now that at least 100,000 domestic youth are being trafficked throughout the nation. That's an entire football stadium full of children. These are not children from overseas. These are your neighbor's children. They're not children necessarily from poor communities. They are mostly runaways and children from the Child Welfare Service. Those are the two areas that we know that a lot of children, when they're trafficked, they're picked up from there. They're picked up from libraries and bus stops and places where we might think they're safe. And that's why this is such an important story to talk about, because it does affect everyone, and we need people to have their eyes open and understand this problem and know that if you see a youth hanging out, for instance, at a bus stop, to make sure they're okay. Oftentimes they're runaways. We know that in a large city, someone only has a few days after they run away until they're absorbed into trafficking. In a medium-sized city, maybe 2 weeks. And these are just the statistics that we already know about.
Do you think this is passed this week?
I would like to say that I would like to see this pass, but it doesn't seem likely to me, no.
All right, you've also got some great contacts considering the Farm Bill. Give us some background on that and how you're going to keep the people in the Valley abreast as sort of the minutia, the mechanisms of the Farm Bill.
The Farm Bill is huge. It's one of those stories that come up every 5 years and that we're like, oh gosh, we hope they can get this passed because we know how important it is, but there's so much minutia in there. I do cover Michigan Senator Stabenow, and she chairs the Farm Committee, and so she's in the position to be able to make those big choices. We know also that food stamps are a big part of the Farm Bill, and that's oftentimes a sticking point when it comes up for reauthorization. So it's an area that we're closely watching, and another area where we want to hear from people in our community what kinds of issues they're dealing with and how that Farm Bill might impact them on the local level.
Jacqueline Policastro, our Washington Bureau Chief, thanks so much again for having us, and great stuff. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks so much for your time.
Stay with us. Much more coming up right here on 630 Point of View. And as always, you can check out our website, 630pov.com. We'll be right back.